Let's get going today with some San Diego State basketball. What a win by San Diego State over San Jose State. This was Wednesday night. On the road tomorrow night against Utah State. And the head coach of the Aztecs, Coach D. Fisher, back on Scott and BR on the Mighty 1090. Hi, Coach.
Gentlemen, how we doing?
Doing really good, Coach. Where are you right now?
Well, I'm standing outside of the airport, ready to go through security and fly into Salt Lake City.
The San Diego airport?
Yes.
So, okay, gotcha. All right. And Coach, did I hear Coach Dutcher say to Darren the other day that this is the first time the Aztecs are playing at Utah State? Did I hear that right?
It's the first time in our tenure here, and since 1999, we've never played them, period. So this will be my first trip also to Logan, Utah.
And
fly to Salt Lake and an hour and a half, 45-minute bus ride into Logan.
Oh, man.
And coincidentally, they happen to be a pretty salty bunch, huh?
They are a good team. We will have our hands full.
Yeah, Coach, before we talk about your team, their team, I would like to just ask you, are you familiar with what they do student section-wise at Utah State?
I am, and I ask, did they plagiarize that from us, or do we take it from them?
Great question.
Right.
Now, there's a lot of controversy about that. For those of you that don't know, the Utah State student section does, before the game, the I believe chant. I believe that. They do the whole chant there. And Coach, I don't know why, but my son, who's 13, told me about this, and I'm like, really? So I started watching YouTube videos, and I've never seen Utah State play basketball, and apparently they go absolutely berserk inside that arena, Coach.
They do, no question about it. This will be every bit as hostile and as loud as going into the pit in Albuquerque and playing there. This is a great crowd. This is a college town that they have become heavily involved in their men's basketball program. And if you look at what Stu Morrill has done since he's been there, he had one stat in the last 14 years, they are in the top 5 of number of wins and winning percentage in America, and they're 124 wins and 12 losses in their last 126 home games.
Okay, so you see, you're telling people something right now, Coach Fisher, that I guarantee you Aztec fans will have had no idea how incredibly successful Utah State is inside their own building.
Did you say 124 and 12?
Correct.
Oh, that is staggering.
It is a mind blow because
it's like Kansas. It is. It's like going into Kansas and playing in terms of those who have gone in and been unable to win.
Wow.
Coach, do you have any idea what size crowd? We know 12,414 every night at VA House. Are you talking 6,000, 10,000? What kind of numbers are we looking at?
I think they're 10 plus, a little over 10.
I mean, this is
over 10,000.
It's incredible to me that Utah State has been so successful at home, and yet nationally they don't necessarily have a high profile, right, Coach?
Yeah, you're exactly right. I said that to our team. Unless you are a connoisseur on college basketball and follow closely, you don't know these facts about Utah State and about what they've done and the success that they've had, both home and away, really. But most, it was staggering their home record. And this is a really good basketball team. They're senior driven and led. They will be the most intense execution of their offense that we've seen. They screen and then they screen again, and if they don't get one look, they come out on the other side, and they will make you guard.
You've gone head-to-head, Coach, with Stu Morrill a time or two before?
Never. He's a friend.
Mm-hmm.
He's a friend, but we've never played. I've never been on a bench opposite him. He left Colorado State right before we came to San Diego State to go to Utah State. So he's been there. I think this is his 16th year.
Right,
maybe.
16. That's right.
Wow. Yeah,
right. Right. 378 wins, 135 losses. Is this Coach Stu Morrill or Morrill? How I'm not sure, Coach. How is it pronounced?
Stu Morrill.
Okay. I mean, again, for the success that this guy has had, to be employed by the same school for 16 years, to have dominated at home the way they have. I just caution Aztec fans, this is not some rollover the way many of us anticipated San Jose State would be, Coach. And I'm guessing that you've had plenty of conversation with the team about this.
We have. We've talked about it. We will continue to talk about it. This is a team, Scott and BR, when they came to the league this year, in my own mind, I felt like they were a team that could contend for the title. They had a lot of guys coming back. They had several injuries a year ago. But this is a good basketball team that will give anybody they play a run for their money. They make about 9 threes a game, shoot a lot of threes. They got beat at Vegas in their last game and couldn't make a three. I think they were 2 for 17 or 2 for 20 from three-point range, but they're very good.
Well, this is an interesting addition to the Mountain West Conference. You know, I mean, this is, and I don't mean just from a basketball standpoint. I mean both football and basketball. And they're seemingly, Coach, a program, an athletic department on the rise.
They are. They're good, and again, they're tucked away in Utah. When you say Utah, the first thing in your mind at basketball is BYU and Utah, University of Utah. But the Utah State Aggies they're formidable. They're very, very good. I remember, and it may have been before you guys were kids, but they had an All-American named Wayne Estes. I don't know if you remember that name or not, that played at Utah State.
Got us.
And tragically, he was killed, electrocuted, and power line was down. But that's when I really started following Utah State when he played long ago.
Wow. So, Coach, team is on a run. One of the things I always love about what you say is when you're good, you tell people you're good. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of times coaches, we're okay. We're not that good yet. You know, when you're good, you know you're good. And I thought the game the other night against San Jose State was interesting because it was a closer game at half than I think a lot of people expected. And then you guys just went running away with it. Yeah. What was the difference, first half, second half?
Well, neither team could make a basket in the first half. It was 29-19 at halftime, and both teams shot. We shot, I think, 33%, and they were under 30%. Our players were a little dejected because they hadn't been able to make some easy baskets. And I talked about what we did do. I said, if you hold a team under 30% shooting and they score 19 points the next half, you're going to win the game. So guard, and guard like crazy. We subtly changed, Justin Hudson kind of choreographs the defense, and we subtly changed what we did defensively in terms of when we would go double-team the ball, came a little bit later. And I do think we wore them down as the game went on. And we went on a 17-0, 34-2 run about 5 minutes into the second half to really blow the game open.
I guess you would feel fortunate, Coach, that you would have that evening against San Jose State and be able to pull out of it, as opposed to walking out on the floor against Utah State. It might be a little bit tougher job.
I would agree with that because it will be hard for us to hold them to 19 points and a half. Hopefully we can, but this one's going to be a really good game tomorrow. They're a team that I think they could beat anybody in America, not just anybody in our league, in their building.
And they've got kind of like a weird little Seattle Seahawks thing going there at Utah State, you know?
Well, it'll be.
I didn't know about it.
No, you didn't catch up with that? No.
Our kids have done a good job, Scott and BR, of getting themselves ready the right way and responding to a hostile crowd and being able to, relax and play on the road better than most teams.
Coach, the Aztecs, as you well know, on just fire. 17-1, 6-0 inside the conference. Utah State 12-6, 2-4 in the conference. But everything seems to be different when they play at home. Coach, good luck. We will see you on February 1st when you return against Colorado State. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, gang. Thanks for having me on.
You got it. Travel safely. Coach Steve Fisher. Wow. I'm telling you, I know it sounds crazy, and I would have had no idea at all that Utah State has this crazy home court advantage. I would never have known.